All with this week's live streams of organ recitals that we have found for you. They change all the time. There were some that were going on this summer, a series of organ recitals that aren't going on anymore, but then there are new ones that are starting up now. So there's an interesting landscape to tell you about, and we still have 5 or 6 of them for this week to bring you up to date on. Let me start out by, let me give you a picture of the different organists that we have for you in this week's recitals. Actually, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recitals. Hugh Rowlands at the Truro Cathedral up in Cornwall, England. Greg Zader, who's the new organist at the Northrop Center at the University of Minnesota. Canon Martin Green at St. Paul's Cathedral in San Diego. And Francois Olivier, the ever-dependable Francois Olivier at the Eglise Saint Eustache Church in the heart of Paris, and Wyatt Smith, the inimitable, I'm going to call him, Wyatt Smith, who will be at the University of Puget Sound this week. Most of these, except for the Greg Zader live stream, are free of charge. And I want to encourage you, whenever that you see that any of these live streams are on YouTube or where there's a comment section, log into the comment section. Do say hello to Access Arts Live, whether we're there or not, and let us know that we were the ones who brought you there. Also, please follow and or subscribe to our channel wherever you're watching us, and repost this and send it to other lovers of organ recitals so that we can gather as many people as possible to enjoy these things together. Now, first off this week is tomorrow, Thursday, September 12th, 1:10 p.m. UK time, 2:10 in the afternoon in Europe, 8:10 in the morning on the East Coast, too early, 5:10 in the morning on the West Coast, but a lovely 10:10 p.m. Down under in Australia, free of charge on YouTube. Truro Cathedral. Hugh Rowlands, who's a Cambridge University grad, he's a fellow of the Royal College of Organists now. He's an assistant master of music at His Majesty's Royal Chapel in the Tower of London. And he's played some with the James McVinney Ensemble and also with the London Contemporary Orchestra at various venues, done some recording, done some recitals in Europe, in the US, and also in Malaysia and Singapore, of all places. So he'll be doing Buxtehude's Praeludium in D major. He'll be doing a piece called Ettrick Banks by Judith Weir, who's just a fabled British conductor, still alive, about 70 years old. She's officially master of the King's music. He'll also be doing a piece by another contemporary British composer, Matthew Martin, who's the organist at Caius College, Cambridge University. He was born in 1976. The piece is called Triptych. And if you don't know what a triptych is one of these liturgical paintings. You will see them in old churches sometimes. They'll be like on 3 panels. And each panel tells a different part of a story, like the Passion of Christ and his resurrection. So, different stories like that told. That's what a triptych is. So I imagine this piece is in 3 pieces, and it tells a story like that. Then he'll be doing McDowall's O Emmanuel and a Bach Passacaglia. And that's Thursday in the afternoon, free of charge. Playing on the Father Willis organ, which is almost identical with the organ that was installed long ago at the Coventry Cathedral. It was installed in 1887. It's been restored twice, 1963 and 1991. But they say it's completely unchanged tonally, except for one stop, the tuba stop, which they move forward so it'll be louder. Okay, but then later in the day, 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time in Minnesota, Greg Zelek plays his first concert as the organist at the Northrop Entertainment Center at the University of Minnesota. That's 7 o'clock in Minnesota, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Too late, 2 in the morning in Europe, but a lovely 10 a.m. Friday morning concert recital down in Australia. It's not free. It's going to cost you $10 US, and we don't know what Greg is going to pay, what he's going to play. So you pay your money, you take your chances. The organ there is an Aeolian Skinner organ, the third largest still functioning one in the United States, with nearly 7,000 pipes. It's 40 feet tall, has 4 manuals, 225 stops, pedals, and buttons. So that's that. If you want to put down your $10, go ahead and come in afterwards and let us know. Come in the comment section. Then Friday, St. Paul's Episcopal Cathedral in San Diego. Their music guy, Canon Martin Green, plays his usual 1:00 p.m. Free of charge recital on the organ there. It's supposedly the organ with the longest history in the San Diego area. It's a Aeolian Skinner refurbished by Quimby organ with almost 5,000 pipes. And we don't know what Canon Martin Green is going to be playing either, but it's free of charge on their own website. We move from that to Saint Eustache Church on Sunday in Paris. Francois Olivier at 5 o'clock Sunday evening in Paris, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, 8 in the morning on the West Coast. We posted a bunch of pictures about my visit there for one of these recitals a few weeks ago. Francois Olivier, when he does a concert, comes highly recommended by the IOOF, the International Online Organ Festival people who keep track of all this organ stuff. If you're watching one of our live streams for the first time about organ recitals, I recommend to you that you check it out. They have a lot more stuff than we have. We're just focused on live streams. We don't even talk about recordings. Anyway, Olivier is going to be doing Bruhns' Prelude and Fugue in E minor. He'll be doing a Bach Fantasy and Fugue in G minor. And he'll be doing César Franck's lovely pièce Héroïque. If you don't know who Francois Olivier is, he's been the organist for the choir at Saint Eustache for 20 years, and he's also the musical director of a boys' choir at Nogent-sur-Marne. So he's a choir guy. I love choir guys. And the organ there at Saint Eustache is the largest organ in France. Okay, we move on from that to the last offering we have for this week. It's at the University of Puget Sound, the annual Bethel Schneebeck organ recital. That's Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific Coast, 5 in the evening on the East Coast, 7 in them, which is like 11 o'clock in Europe, and 7 o'clock Monday morning for those of you who are down under, if any of you are watching me right now. I'm not sure if you would be, because it would be about 2 in the morning in Australia, but maybe you're nocturnal. Anyway, this will be Wyatt Smith on the organ, but it's a little bit of a mixed concert because he'll be accompanied by Dawn Padula, a mezzo-soprano who runs the choral music program there at the University of Puget Sound, and an undergraduate named Jack Kuntz on the piano. I don't know what they're going to be doing. Now, who is Wyatt Smith? Well, he's basically based in South Dakota, I think. But he has done a lot of, he has his own website. And so I think we'll give you the link to that in the comment section. His bio says that he's done recitals in 28 states in the US and in Germany, France, and England. He's been featured at the American Guild of Organists conventions repeatedly. He has played on 10 episodes of the American Public Media's Pipe Dreams series. He also commissions and then premieres new works for the organ. And he's done this with a number of different composers. His biggest work along those lines was something called Liturgy Live! This started out, he commissioned 6 solo organ works by Pamela Reuter Feenstra, one for each liturgical season, like the Christmas season, the Advent, the Lent, etc. But then it built because an artist named John Seals came along and did 6 paintings related to each section. And then a poet named Bethany Carlson wrote poems to go with each section. And then Craig Phillips, whom I know personally from All Saints as an organist and music director at All Saints Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, and then at the American Cathedral in Paris, wrote a series of songs for solo, mezzo, soprano, and organ. So I think that is why we have a mezzo soprano in this Sunday's recital. What he'll be playing some pieces by Brenda Portman, who's a Cincinnati-based composer who's won composing awards in Minnesota and the District of Columbia, at Notre Dame, and at the Palm Beach competition in 2024. Then he'll be doing some pieces by Margaret Vardell Sandreski, who is, I think, 103 or 104 years old now. When she was 100 years old, she was still composing, and they were doing all kinds of celebrations for her. She started out graduating, getting a master's in music composition at the Eastman School of Music way back in 1944, when there weren't a lot of women doing that, and then studied in Germany. And she's been composing, and her pieces have been performed all over the world. She taught at Oberlin. She taught at the University of Texas, Austin, and then finished up her teaching career at Salem College in North Carolina in 1986. So she's been retired for 40 years. She still composes. Okay, he'll also be doing some pieces by Shostakovich and a world premiere of some works by Robert Hutchinson, who's on the faculty at Puget Sound. So that looks to be an interesting evening too, and I can commend it to you. And that also will be free of charge. So we give you the links, the specific dates and times in the comment section. I hope you'll enjoy at least some of these live streams. The Truro Cathedral and the Saint Eustache are both on YouTube. So if you check them out, do check to see if We're There Access Arts Live shows up in the comment section. I usually make at least those two concerts, and say hello and let us know if we're the ones who brought you there, okay? Ciao for now. I may be back in a little while, or that may be tomorrow, with something on, we found, it's going to be later today, we found some new recital live streams. And I want to do a separate section on the new ones that we found, because I think they're really interesting, and it's worth talking about each one of them. There are going to be some recitals coming that we haven't mentioned to you yet, coming up